Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys Magic. This is Hunter and Shane. Say hello, Shane.
What's up, nerds?
We are back, our final day of our Fallout spoiler videos. That's right, all 4 decks are now released, and you better believe we're already getting up to speed with those $100 and $300 upgrade videos coming to you really, really soon, I promise. But, like I said, this is the last day of the Fallout spoilers, the universes beyond. We got some cool cards to talk about today. Before we do, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Like 50% of you guys aren't subscribed. What is going on? Hit the subscribe button. It's free. But let's go ahead and get started with this first card. It is the Master Transcendent. It's 1, a black, a green, and a blue for a 2/4 legendary artifact creature mutant. It says when the Master enters the battlefield, target player gets 2 rad counters. Has another ability you could tap it. Put target creature card in a graveyard that was milled this turn onto the battlefield under your control. It's a green mutant with base power and toughness 3/3. What do you think about this card, Shane?
I like it. It's utilizing rad. You give it to anybody, which is cool. So you can mill yourself, mill your opponents. I feel like you might want to be playing with your stuff rather than your opponent's stuff, just because you'll know what's in your deck. But hey, it's pretty good recursion. I kind of like this card.
Yeah, build around a mill theme there, and you can mill all of your opponents out, and then whatever you see hits their graveyard, you just go tap. Ooh, I like that thing. I want
That's
that.
a good one.
I
Yeah,
want that one.
got some terrifying art. Yeah, the card seems fun.
But making it a 3/3 does lose the ability to go ahead and get a giant beater from your opponent.
Yeah,
So it's a bummer.
it's something
You
with
gotta
a
find
really good
those.
static ability.
Really good static ability, really good ETB, really good attack trigger, maybe. I don't know.
Yep.
But the Master Transcendent, it is pretty mean. It deserves to be in this deck with all the proliferation and rad counters. I think this deck's going to be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
Let's move on to the next card. It is Strong, the Brutish Thespian. It's 4 and 2 green for a 7/7 legendary creature, mutant berserker. It's got Ward 2 and Enrage, meaning whenever Strong is dealt damage, you get 3 rad counters and put 3 +1/+1 counters on Strong. You gain life rather than lose life from radiation.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Expensive,
Yeah.
like super expensive, but
I mean, it's in green. When Steven always says it, it's in green. You can ramp to it.
I know.
But I love the fact that you're gaining life rather than losing it with radiation.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, this goes really well with the Master we just talked about. You can reanimate this as a 3/3 and then grow it.
Yeah, you could. Definitely. The War 2 gives it a little bit of evasion, too, which is nice.
This card's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Enrage is a good trigger. You can put this in an Enrage deck.
Put it in your Dino deck, dude. There you go.
Enrage Dinos, Enrage Strong. This
Enrage
card
Thespian.
seems
Rad. I mean, strong.
Yes. But yeah, I like this card a lot. So far, 2 for 2. Let's move on to some Nerd Rage. It's 2 and a blue for an enchantment aura. It says enchant creature, and when Nerd Rage enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards. It also says enchanted creature you have no maximum hand size, and whenever this creature attacks, if you have 10 or more cards in hand, it gets +10/+10 until end of turn.
That's pretty good.
What's up, nerds? More
What's
like,
up? What's up, nerds?
what's up, nerds?
Yeah, my voice can't get that deep. Sorry.
What's up? What's up, nerds?
3 mana, draw 2 cards with no downside is really good.
Here's the downside.
Okay, what's the downside?
If you don't have 10 cards in your hand, this does nothing.
Well, still draw. It drew you the 2 cards. That's what I'm saying.
It drew you 2 cards, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think that's great.
And it sits on the field until you get 10 cards in your hand.
Well, you also have no max hand size, so that helps.
It does help, yeah.
So
It helps you keep those cards.
Even would have loved this in his deck, dude.
Yeah, he was indifferent about it. He didn't know if he needed it.
I mean, I don't know if you need it, but I'm just saying, like, 3 mana draw 2 with no downside. Let's think about it. Would you play a 3 mana draw 2 spell? Probably.
I don't know if I would.
Really?
That exists already. Quick study? That thing exists.
Yeah, but this has upside.
Okay. But, like I said, it doesn't do anything if you don't have 10 cards in your hand, and goes away. It's not just an enchantment. It's attached to a creature, meaning if the creature dies, this goes away too.
I don't know. I'm here for it. I like Nerd Rage.
Nerd Rage. What's up, nerds? Moving on to Vault 12, the Necropolis. It's 4 and 2 black for an enchantment saga. Got one. No. The first lore counter says each player gets 3 rad counters. The second lore counter says create X 2/2 black zombie mutant creature tokens, where X is the total number of rad counters among players. And its third and final lore counter says put 2 +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. That's a zombie or mutant.
Hmm. Seems a little
6
heavy.
mana. 6 mana is a lot.
Yeah. I don't have the payoffs there for me. Even if you're
The
playing zombie or
downside.
mutants.
The downside to playing this card is for 6 mana, each player gets 3 red counters. By the time it gets to your next turn, there is, howbeit small, there is a possibility that you're the only one with red counters left.
True.
So
Very true.
that means you'll just get 1 zombie.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm here for this one.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's cool. The lore is there. I personally don't know about the vaults because, like the last video, you and I are not the Fallout guys. That would be David, and he himself is not even the biggest Fallout guy.
Yeah.
But a lot of these cards are very cool.
Yeah. I think they're cool. Like, you're playing a zombie deck, maybe you put this in there for that, put 2 counters on each zombie you control, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's 6 mana is a lot, man.
Not a lot of black cards that put counters on things, so
Yeah.
it could see play.
Yeah.
Next up, Harold and Bob. First, Numens. It's 2 and a green for a 3/3 legendary creature tree folk mutant. It's got Vigilance and Reach, and it says when Harold and Bob, first Numens dies, if it was a creature, return it to the battlefield. It's an aura enchantment with Enchant Forest you control, and Enchanted Forest has tap, add 3 mana of any one color. You get 2 rad counters. Harold and Bob loses all of their abilities.
Okay.
So 3 mana 3/3 with Vigilance and Reach, and when it dies, you can now tap a land for 3 colors. But the downside, you get 2 rad counters.
Yeah, but maybe 2 rad isn't even that bad.
If you're running Golgari, then yeah, sure. 2 rad, you could be milling yourself. That's really good.
It could be feeding right into your strategy. And then just the fact that it taps for 3. Really good. That's really good.
Really good. Yeah.
I could definitely see this. I don't want to say well, definitely. Okay, I was going to say it definitely sees play, but I have a feeling this is going to see play.
Yeah, we'll see. And we'll talk about this card more when we get to our commander grades for this set.
Oh, because it could be a commander. Interesting.
It could be, yeah.
Could
Legendary.
be.
Harold and Bob is legendary.
Interesting.
Moving on to this next card. It's called Contaminated Drink. It's X, a blue, and a black for an instant. It says draw X cards. Then you get half X rad counters rounded up.
Instant speed, dude.
Instant speed draw, yeah. And being in Dimir, you could be running a graveyard strategy, meaning those rad counters would be pretty good. So maybe they thought in mind when they built this card and was like, ooh, shouldn't give them too many, give them half.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about rad yet. I mean, it's rad. Awesome, but I don't know how good / bad it'll be. So maybe that's not even either one that bad of a downside or good of a upside. I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about rad.
I'm here for it. I like it.
About
I
rad
like
or for drawing?
Opponents rad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like rad.
Well, then you'd like this. This is a big draw spell.
I think whenever it comes to counters on players, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
So just proliferate them.
True.
But this card, I think, is decent. I don't think it's that crazy.
Kind of gross. She's like drinking cockroach poop.
Yeah, it says a little rad X helps, but nothing quite blocks out the taste. Moving on to Jason Bright, Glowing Prophet. It's 2 and a blue for a 2/3 legendary creature zombie mutant advisor. It says whenever a zombie or mutant you control dies, if its power was different from its base power, draw a card. It also has Come Fly With Me, meaning you can pay 2, sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature control. It gains flying until end of turn.
Kind of cool.
I like this card. If you're running a Dimir zombie deck, I think this should go in it. Especially if you have any lords or something like that could just boost its power,
Pump 'em up,
its base power. If you have a sacrifice outlet, this is its own sacrifice outlet. So in one turn, you can technically Pay 2, sack a creature, draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on something, and give it flying.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's a
solid.
lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's a bummer that it's still end of turn, but I get it. That would be nuts.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I like cards that trigger themselves, and the whole part of it being a bigger than base power, and this card gives it greater than base power. Like that's cool. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the card does everything the card needs to do.
Exactly.
And once again, we will talk about this card when we do our Commander Grades video because it is also legendary. You can
Yeah,
make
it'd
your
be
own
a
commander.
weird mono blue zombie deck, but whatever.
Or mutants.
Oh, sorry, or mutants.
Mm-hmm. Don't get twisted, man. Speaking of mutants, let's talk about Marcus, Mutant Mayor. It's 3, a green and a blue for a 4/4 legendary creature mutant advisor. Got Vigilance and Trample and says whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card if that creature has a +1/+1 counter on it. If it doesn't, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
There you go. It works well with the last advisor.
Counters.
Simic
Yeah.
counters, dude.
As the resident counter player, I would like to say that I'm glad this card doesn't say whenever one or more creatures, it's whenever a creature. So if you have a bunch of creatures on your board with counters and they all hit a player, you draw that many cards.
That's pretty nuts. Yeah. As the resident,
Mhm.
uh,
Simic.
thank you. Words.
Hmm.
I'll agree with you. This card's good. I think that's what you're alluding to.
Yeah, the card is great. I love this card. And it, once again, it does the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you didn't have a counter on it, now you get a counter.
Yeah, that's actually nuts. That's super
Hmm.
nuts. A
I
little,
like Marcus.
little heavy. I mean, not heavy, but like 5 is getting up there for your, if we're talking about a commander, which I know we're not strictly about right now, but you know, that kind of
Simic.
gets scary.
Ramp it.
I know, I'm aware. Green, ramp, cool. But you know, when you start 5, 7, 9, it gets scary.
5, 7, 9.
I'm just counting for you now.
I get it. It's okay. Commander tax is real. Uh, I I like it. I'm sold.
I
Sign me
might
up for
build it. You
Marcus.
never know. Yeah.
He's got my vote.
Got my vote.
All right, let's move on to Red Death Shipwrecker. It's a blue and a red for a 1/3 legendary creature crab mutant. Got alluring eyes, which means you could tap it. Goad target creature an opponent controls. That player draws a card. You add a red mana.
Mm.
Interesting.
Nah.
Nah, only
Nah.
because you're giving someone card draw.
Yeah, I get it. You're goading them, so they're not going to attack you. You're going to cause chaos, and you are benefiting from this because you're getting land or mana. But dude, we know you should know too more than anyone. Hard draw can win games, dude. That sucks.
Yeah, if you give someone that card they needed,
Yeah,
that is feels bad man moment.
like I would never want to do this against Steven because he just takes card advantage to a whole new level.
It's true. He does do that.
So I
But
don't know.
when it comes to goading, he does lose.
Okay, okay, you got me there. But I don't like giving cards to your opponents. But
Me neither. Red Death, it ain't for me, but hey, in the right build, David kind of alluded to maybe in a build where card draw hurts opponents, like
yeah,
his snake deck.
true.
He thought that was pretty good. Goading their creature, making them draw, and adding a red mana.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty good.
That is very true. So it's just probably better in the 99.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
who knows? And the final card we're talking about today is Paladin Danse, Steel Maverick. It's 2 and a white for a 3/3 legendary artifact creature, Synth Knight. Got a Vigilance and Lifelink. Also has an ability where you can exile it. Each creature you control that's an artifact or human gains indestructible till end of turn.
Dude, synth. I love it. I love that's a new thing.
Synth. Interestingly enough, it's not a human itself.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're in that kind of human kindred deck, you don't have a spot for other creatures that do kind of the same ability. I understand that the ability is strong, especially if you're in like a Azorius blue-white kind of artifact creature deck, then this is perfect because it also protects artifacts.
Yeah.
But
I was gonna say we've seen this
yeah,
ability before with like the human sacrificing himself to give the board indestructible, and I mean I feel like they were decent, right? But I think the added effect to artifacts, and then the fact that this has lifelink and vigilance, you can up them up, and actually I kind of like this card now.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it too.
And it's a synth.
It's a synth. Yes, it's a synth. Synth Knight.
Synthwave.
But but that is going to do it for us today. If you guys liked that video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And once again, yes, we are doing the $100 and $300 upgrades to these precons as we speak. So stay tuned for those. So subscribe. Why not? In the description, you will find links to our social media accounts. That's TikTok, that's Twitter, that's Instagram. It's at Guys That Match for each one. Follow us on those to keep up to date with everything else that we got going on. Also, on the screen right now, those are all the names of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys all so much for your added support. It means the world to us. If you guys wanted to see what they're seeing that's not here on YouTube, check the link in the description below and consider subscribing to our Patreon account. And until the next video, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Bye-bye.